Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel here. We're going to be talking on the discussion of the RTX 50 series and everything else about it, right? I'm getting a lot of questions on my social media and some of my listings and stuff like that, right? People are asking, hey, are you getting a 5080 or are you getting a 50 series card? Yes, I am 100% sure I will be getting this next generation RTX 50 series card, but that is because I edit as well as do a lot of photography with 4K and high resolution images with multiple different types of cameras. So I would love to do that. Plus, also, I plan on trying to stick and stay in my main gaming system with one graphics card for the next 4 to 6 years, or possibly pass them down to my friends or family, mostly my little brother, right? And trying to get him up to speed with everything else. So um, let's go ahead and continue on here. So the pricing and the competition that's out there, right? Should you go 50 series or should you look at AMD's um, new GPUs or last generation GPUs as well as your other generation GPUs from NVIDIA? It really comes down to your workload and what resolution gaming do you plan on playing on, right? So if you're just strictly gaming, honestly, if you're playing a lot of shooter games or anything of that sort, I would say definitely just stick with like a 5070 or even 5070 Ti at that point if you're looking for high end stuff. But I mean, look at the pricing on that. $1,000 for the 5080. I have the 4080. You know, I paid more than $1,000 for my 4080 at the time, and I'm looking to grab one of the 5090s, possibly maybe settle for the 5080, right? Um, there's just a lot of things that you got to think about and consider when you are trying to pick your next graphics card or even just upgrading your system, right? But I think for this case here, since they're really trying to sell you on the technology behind the 50 series card, right, with DLSS 4 being a factor, as well as AMD releasing their 9070 XT and their 9070 FSR 4 is going to become available too. And with those, with AMD, FSR is very usable on multiple generations of AMD cards, as well as some other iterations of graphics cards, right, from Intel and NVIDIA using FSR technology. So even if you were to pick up like an old 3080 or older 30 series card and you're just playing on 1080p or 1440p, you can utilize a lot of the tech that are coming out in future games or even games that are existing already that are mainstream, like Call of Duty, Apex, and things like that, to utilize the new AI upscaling technology. You have longer life terms with your graphics cards, essentially, right? So if you're on a 20 series or even a 30 series, yes, this would be a great generation to hop into. And yes, I would say definitely wait if you're just gaming. If you're just gaming, wait for the results. Do not go out there and buy these things on day one. That is going to be the biggest thing you can do to yourself, is not wait on the competition, right? AMD is releasing their 9070 XT and non XT versions, but I have a speculation and a theory on that, is because I think they got caught up in a pretty big knot here, right? 9070 XT, there's already rumors that it's supposed to be performing or just as fast as the current 4080 Super. 4080 Supers, they retailed at $1,000, right? And people are saying the 4080 Super is supposed to be like the 5070 Ti, right? So if AMD's 9070 XT isn't as fast as the 5070 Ti, but it's only as good as the 4080 Super, that means they have a card that's like the 5070. And at $550, you would rather go with the 5070 because it just offers better technology with the DLSS upscaling and driver support versus AMD's 9070 XT that's brand new and utilizing FSR 4, right? It's still not the best AI upscaling technology that's out there, and there's different uh, tests and results that are already out there with FSR 3.1, which is better than 3. I'll leave links down below for all of these other channels, or even also other results that other of these bigger tech reviewers have seen. But coming from a normal guy like me and you, your normal 9 to 5 guy, I would say if you're just strictly gaming, wait for the results. Don't buy into that first month. I know you're going to be wanting it and everything like that, but NVIDIA and I would say other retailers like Gigabyte, Asus, and MSI, they did promise that they will make mass production of the 50 series cards so that we can try and avoid scalpers and resellers everywhere, right? So they have a big challenge. They understand what's going on in the market, what's been happening from the 20 series to the 30 series and the 40 series. And honestly, the scalpers started in the 20 series, right? That's when we saw a big uptick in resellers and things like that back then, almost 6-7 years ago when those GPUs first started coming out. So I would say give it a couple weeks, give it a month, do some research, figure out your budget, and figure out what resolution of monitor you want to play at. So look at your game library. Are you like me, right? On my channel where I play all loads of game, I myself love to experience everything at the max setting, right? I want to be able to indulge in the things that I love to do, with this tech, and give you guys all this information and feedback from my point of view and opinions, right? That you guys can talk about and discuss down below in the comments, or even talk to me about and reach out to me about, right? So that's my thoughts there on the pricing and what other competitions that's out there, right? And of course, Intel having the B580. I think that's a really great card to use if you're just playing 1080p games and cozy games. Reason why you would go with the B580 is because you have newer tech, newer drivers, and newer software support. But then at that point, you could also look at getting a used RX 7000 series card, right? For like $200 to $300 out there used on the market. And you can also find a 30 series card that's anywhere from $200 to $300 used out there in the used market as well. Couple designs. Another discussion point I want to talk about is the designs of new 50 series cards. I am digging Asus's design on the 50 series that they have. This tri-fan design with the fourth fan blowing. This thing literally looks like a spaceship in your computer. Like, I can imagine this thing being in my case and it looks like a jet engine. If any of you guys are pilots out there or love space or anything of that sort, I think this would be a really great card for you guys to put into your system. Because I mean, like, look at this thing. This thing is just amazing. Great job, Asus. Collab with me. This would be great for me to review as a first time, channel guy. Hey, I'm all there. I'll be down. Whatever, you could send some my way. And then let's look at MSI's Supreme cooling cards. These things are cool. So they only had the Supreme cards in the water cooled system in the 40 series card, and it was only available in the 4090s. So I believe they're releasing this design in the 5090s air cooled, and I think in the 5080 air cooled version of the Supreme version of the MSI cards in the 50 series. So another cool little design there, super sleek, has the founders edition colors, right? So if you have like a black case, this thing would look really nice. I'll leave some links down below to like LTT Linus Tech tips and like hardware unbox and things like that for you guys to look at all the graphics cards designs that are out there, right? But you gotta know these cards are bigger, but they have slimmed down from some of the 4-slot designs, right? So my 4080 right now, I have the Gigabyte Eagle OC. That thing is a 2.5, almost 3 card slot, but it is huge. It's like the size of my forearm. It's about, I think, 14 or 15 inches. So last thing I want to discuss here, I want you guys let me know down below in the comments, talk amongst yourselves. Are you guys going to put the 50 series in your new build or existing build? One thing you got to ask yourself is, do you have a newer CPU to take advantage of some of the other upscaling technologies that this new card has? So think about that. I think if you're on a 5900X or 5800X or 5800X 3D, you might be okay, but there has been newer testing showing newer games and some of the newer GPUs in the 40 series starting to lag behind and losing some performance there. So if you're looking to upgrade, you missed out during the holiday season. So I would wait to see if there's any other big sales, right? Or again, grab the GPU that you want for your future build and move that GPU into your next system. Look at your power supplies. Do you have enough power supply power to support these newer cards? They are hungrier if you are looking at the 80 series or even the 90 series like I am. I have a 1,000 watt power supply now, but I think I'm going to upgrade it to a 1,300 or 1,500 watts power supply. The reason is because I have multiple drives in my system. I have over 24 terabytes or close to 30 terabytes in my system right now. So some of those drives and your RAM sticks and your RGB and your AIO is all going to take up power on your system, right? And then of course you have your CPU. My CPU is a 7950X right now. I have seen it draw about 120, 140 watts sometimes when I'm just gaming, streaming, and putting it out there in live stream, and also just like re-recording, the games and stuff. So you got to think about that. 1,500 watt to 1,300 watt power supplies are not cheap. They're about 150, 160 bucks on the cheap end, and they can go up to about $220, $230. And that goes through various retailers, Best Buy, Newegg, B&H Photo, and things like that you can find online. So be aware of that. And then obviously check the used market out there, right? See what you're going to be playing, figure out where you want to go, and if you want to stick to PC gaming long term and you're going to get rid of your console, do like what I did. I've had my power supply now for over 6 different builds, right? So that's from the 20 series and up to now. I've had my same power supply now for almost 6 years, and that's a cost, the $200 that I don't have to spend any more anywhere else to move, and it's carried me through all the way up to my 4080 GPU. Right, from my 2080 all the way up to my 3080 to my 4080, I haven't had a single issue on my power supply wattage. So think about that. Think long term. Another long term item that you can use is a case, PC case, and of course your motherboard. Your motherboard, if you want to take advantage of everything that the 50 series card has, make sure. I know some reviews are like, it doesn't matter if it's PCI 4.0 express lane for your graphics card. But make sure to future-proof yourself and get a 5.0 PCIe lane for your GPU so that you can use that same motherboard, whether it's $100 or $300, and move it from system to system along with your power supply and or case. So essentially, like what I did, I went with the AM5 upgrade platform, and 7950X, I'll probably be good with it for 4 years. I'll grab the 9950X or the 1050X or whatever they come out with in the future, and just upgrade my socket and my BIOS, and I'll be good to go. 64 gigs of RAM, 6,000 mega transfers, perfect, right? So think of it that way. There's a lot of things you guys can do out there to be smart shoppers and figure out what upgrade path and gaming you want to do. So if you guys want to join in on the discussion, right? Comment down below what you guys think. What are your thoughts? Are you going to buy the new 50 series GPU, or are you going to stick with your current build? Or are you going to wait for the supers, or are you going to skip this generation completely, or are you going to find something used in the market out there? A lot of shift in the market right now. So let me know down below, guys. You guys know what it is. It's Redstone signing off. Keeping it real, keeping it hot, and keeping it raw. Your normal 9 to 5 guy, bringing you some high quality content for you guys to enjoy. See you guys on the next video. Deuces.